So we're live. Good morning. I'm going to start the June 6th, 2023 Licensing Commission meeting. It is now 9:10 a.m. And I'm going to announce as recent amendments to the open meeting law allows, the Licensing Commission will continue to hold meetings remotely. All votes will be taken by roll call. If you're calling on a phone, you can press *9 to speak. The commission members are Police Chief Ed Conley, Fire Chief Eric Smith, and Joanne Sinos, City Clerk. First item of the agenda is the approval of the July 18, 2023 today, this meeting. I was reading off the minutes. Approval of the June 6, 2023 meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
I roll call vote. Chief Conley, I think you need to abstain, correct? Because you were not at the meeting. And Joe Fitzgerald was not at the meeting. So Chief Conley is going to abstain. Chief Smith?
Yes.
And Joanne Sinos, yes. The motion passes 2 in favor and 1 abstained. Next item on the agenda is the petition of Don Nicastro for the transfer of the ownership of the Gloucester Taxi and Livery Service, Inc. to Don Nicastro as sole proprietor. This is what I have on the agenda. I don't know if that has changed. For a taxi cab service license pursuant to Gloucester Code of Ordinances, Chapter 25 to 36. And this was continued from our June 6, 2023 meeting. So Dawn, can you introduce yourself because Chief Conley was not here at the last meeting, and state your name and address, please, for the record. You're muted. You're muted. Unmute yourself.
You might have to, Joanne, since you muted them all.
Are you talking about me?
No. The only thing I have, Chief, is that. Oh, there you go. Okay, Dawn.
You're set?
Yeah.
I'm
Go ahead.
Dawn Nicastro. I live at 19 Chestnut Street, Gloucester, Mass.
Okay, and so can you reiterate again while you're in front of the licensing commission, since one of our members was absent at the last meeting, so you would have to go through the whole process again.
I'd like to buy Gloucester Taxi. Keep serving Gloucester.
Okay, so are you going to be as the sole proprietorship again, or are you going to be under a different?
It's going to be the same name. Well, service is taken out. I was told I could use the same name, but change it a little. So we're going to use Gloucester Taxi Livery Incorporated.
So you're going to take out the word service, right?
Yes.
Okay. And I believe are there 6 cabs currently?
Yes.
Are they
There's 6
all-
total.
Okay.
License for 10.
Okay, are they all in service?
Yes.
Okay, there was a mention in your petition that you were going to remove 2 cabs from the fleet.
Could you repeat that, please?
Is that correct?
I can't hear you. Couldn't understand. You broke up a bit.
Okay, sorry. Hold on a minute. It's my understanding in your petition, in your letter, that you were going to junk 2 of the taxi cabs.
Oh,
that-
yeah, those were junked. Yeah, but
They're
there's
already
still 6. Those ones weren't going to be bought. Those were still owned by Jeff.
Okay, all right, so they're not included in this transfer, correct?
No, just the 6.
All right, so I'm just gonna direct this to Jeff. What you have to do is call Don Belanger, okay? Because he has on record the 2 taxi cabs for the meters, so he can take it off his records for the metered cabs. All right, so you're gonna have to do that. You're muted. Let me see. Okay. Oops. Go ahead, Jeff. All right. Well, we'll get to that after again. All right, so,
Okay, can you hear me now?
yes, okay. So it's
There's six taxis right now that are on the road with meters. That's the way it's been. I don't know what she means by we took two taxis off. I didn't take any taxis off. Since I had the meters done with Donville, the gentleman, we still have 6 meters, 6 taxis on the road.
okay,
That's what we've had for the last, since the pandemic, actually.
okay. All right. So Dawn, okay, so, all right, let's get back to this. So you're gonna it's the transfer of 6 taxi cabs,
Six.
okay?
6.
And the Gloucester Taxi and Livery Service, Inc., under the ownership of Jeffrey Young, is licensed for 10 taxis. Okay,
Right.
you requesting a total of 10 or just the 6 today?
Just the 6 today.
And no liveries, correct?
No. Not right now,
Okay,
in the future.
okay. Chiefs, I think I'm done with my questioning. I'm gonna turn it over to either Chief Conley or Chief Smith for any questions.
Yeah, I guess my only question really goes back to you, Joanne. So I'm looking at the code of ordinance right now, and it looks like the only thing that needs to be done falls under section 2541, which is assignment or transfer. That says no permit issued under this division shall be assigned or transferred without first obtaining the consent of the licensing commission, which this is the process we are engaged today, right? Just to consent to said transfer. And obviously we discussed that, hey, all the paperwork's got to be in order, that the business movement and new ownership has to be in order and be before us before we would approve said transfer. And so I think that we've received everything that we would need. And my question is, do you have everything that you need that would fulfill this as if it were a new permit request, that all the documents required, the insurance, letters of intent, the ownership of the company, and or the intent to purchase, if you will, whether it's completed or not, is kind of immaterial if they intend for this to go through. Obviously she has to have assurances that she'll get the permitting, so why would she buy it without that assurance? So I get all that. I just want to make sure that you've got everything that you need on file for this to be completely legit.
Yeah, I do not have the insurance yet. The only thing I have, which I sent the chiefs, was the stock agreement, the petition, and that's all I have right now. I guess based on this approval, that's when they would go ahead. Tell me if I'm incorrect, with the insurance, providing us with the insurance, and then after they'll have to fill out the transfer of delivery of the vehicles with the registry of motor vehicles, and then give it to us, and then we can just transfer the licenses over to Gloucester Taxi and Livery Inc.
Gotcha. And then my last question is on the taxi cab driver's badges. Is there going to be a requirement or need to update and change those through your office that needs to be added to this?
We would need to update it because where she's changing the name a little bit, we would have to transfer those, whoever the current cab drivers
I
are.
don't know where this name change came in. I don't under, all it is a stock transfer. There should be no need to change the name at all. I did this back in 2012 and everything stayed exactly the same. I bought it from John Nazar. It was a transfer. The name stayed. I don't know who's telling her she has to change the name, but there should be no reason.
Last time, I believe I said that because she was under sole proprietorship.
Yeah. So where it's a stock transfer, everything it's just a transfer.
So we weren't under the impression that it was a stock transfer last time.
Okay.
That's where that came from. Okay.
So I would just keep it the same if she's willing to do that. I mean, everything's just getting transferred. That's the simplest and easiest way to do it.
That is up to her, but
Yes.
the documentation we had at the last meeting was just her petition and that she was gonna be sole proprietorship.
Yeah.
Okay, and then she informed us, the commission at the last meeting, that she was informed that she shouldn't do sole proprietorship. So then I just said, well, then you're gonna have to come up with a different name, not knowing that she was gonna buy your stock.
Okay, I got you. Yep.
So everything stays
Not
the
knowing that
same.
she was gonna buy your stock shares. So,
So we can keep everything.
backtrack a little bit and make sure our facts are all straight before we approve this transfer. Chief Conley, do you have any questions?
I don't have any questions. I read through the narrative, which was helpful to me. And it looks like you're experienced in this business. You have 8 years of experience. It looks like you have some ideas about moving the business forward, which really doesn't fall under like the purview of this licensing board. I noticed you you did say regarding the insurance that you're going through Lighthouse Insurance. You've already had those conversations, I'm assuming.
We had to wait for this meeting.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, I don't have any specific questions.
Do you have anything else?
No, I would say whatever, whatever you're short in your office to make this process for your folks, that you make the motion and add those things as the requirements or conditions, if you will. And, I don't have any problem approving this so long as it's very clear what is required in order for this approval to actually be in effect, right? All the paperwork you're gonna need and the timing therein. And if the name stays exactly the same and it's a stock transfer, I think that takes several of these other issues that I brought up off the table, probably making it easier on all parties. So, but I'll leave it to you to make the motion because you're the one most affected, or your office at least, by the work that has to get done to make it happen.
I just have a couple more questions now. So in your stock agreement, it says that you were going to negotiate a lease with the current landlord where the company is located now. Have you done that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I spoke to the landlord and he said that it was no problem if she wanted a lease just to come see him.
Or be a tenant.
Or be a tenant at will, either or.
Okay. So, can you give me the address again, Jeff?
212 Main Street, Gloucester, Mass. 01930.
It's only for my motion, that's fine.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so also in your letter, you said that you were going to change the color of the cabs. Are you going to do that fairly soon, or are you going to wait?
I was gonna wait, as soon as I buy a new car, I'd have to change the color. I'd have it white, keep these grandfathered in, if
Okay,
that's okay.
Chief, is that a problem if she has maroon and white cabs? Does it make a difference?
No, as far as I'm concerned, that's strictly a business decision on her part.
Okay, all right, okay.
Yeah, I think the ordinance only says that we need to know that and put it in the paperwork to identify it. And I think when that time comes, she can just probably make notice, whatever the ordinance requires for documentation is probably just a simple issue of updating the records.
So I am going to make a motion then. So I move that the licensing commission grant the petition of Dawn Castro, doing business as Gloucester Taxi and Livery Service Inc. for the stock purchase agreement or a permit to operate a taxi cab service for a total of 6 taxi cabs pursuant to Gloucester Code of Ordinances, Chapter 20, Vehicles for Hire, Section 2536, be located at 212 Main Street, and to comply with all the conditions of the Code of Ordinances. Do I have a second?
I'll second that, Joanne.
We're waiting for you to say an ISO move, those key words.
You didn't say I so move and I so move.
All right, all
Sorry,
right, perfect.
should know that. Okay, so it's been moved and seconded, roll call vote. Chief Conley,
Yes.
Chief Smith,
Yes.
and Joanne Cinos, yes. Okay, the motion has passed. So once you get all the paperwork in order, the insurance and everything, you would have to come in and fill out the livery part of the to change the registration of the vehicles over to your insurance.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
It should just, the insurance and everything, they should just get transferred over with it. Nothing should change on them. Because they're registered and insured to Gloucester Taxi and Livery Service, Inc. So
Okay,
everything,
her name is not going to be on that insurance at all.
excuse me?
Her name is not going to be under the insurance at all as the owner.
Well,
Mine
we'll
is, yeah.
call,
Yeah,
we'll call the insurance company and see how they do it.
Okay,
but I mean, as far as re-registering and, yeah, everything should just get transferred over. They run out in November every year, the registration, so everything should just get transferred over, stay the same until November when she re-registers them, but they still go under Gloucester Taxi and Livery Service, Inc. I don't believe my name is on the registrations.
I'll have to say, I'll just, we
Get
approve.
copies of all that to the lawyers tomorrow when we.
I will work with both of you to get all the paperwork in order before we do all the transfers. That's all. If we have any questions, I'll just work with the both of you. Okay?
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So you're all set.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
your time.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Okay, next
Luck.
item. Okay, next item on the agenda is the request of Lisa Landry for a street musician license pursuant to Gloucester Code of Ordinances, Chapter 3, Amusements, Article 2, Section 3-15 and 3-18B. And this was continued from June 6th also, because there was a miscommunication about the meeting. So Lisa, can you unmute yourself and introduce yourself with name and address?
Hi, now everybody's disappeared from my screen, but I got to unmute it. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. I'm sorry about this. I want to meet everyone in person. I would rather everyone can see everybody else. So I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
And you asked, what did you ask me to do?
For your name and address for the record. And
Yeah, it's Lisa Landy, Landy, not Dree, but it's Landy. And everybody says that anyway, so. 2 Ocean Avenue, apartment 1F, Gloucester, Mass. 01930.
So can you tell the commission what you're requesting for and where you want to do the street formal license?
Yeah, I was thinking of a busking license, performing busking, however you describe it. When I used to busk in Europe many years ago, they just called it busking. So would be playing my acoustic guitar somewhere on the street. I think you were mentioning the Stage 4 Park Boulevard did not allow it, but I can't remember exactly what you were saying. I'm not sure if I want to play on Main Street because I don't know about parking there. So I'm not sure where I would play that. I was hoping to discuss where it would happen, where the best places to play would be, like maybe if there's a little gazebo area. I noticed that Stage 4 had that, but again, that's Stage 4. So
yes, when I spoke to you last time, you wanted to play by the Veterans Memorial and down by the boulevard there, because you wanted to plug in your equipment. And I advised you that there is no electrical outlet there, and you wouldn't be able to plug in any municipal building your equipment. So
Right.
it'll all have to be portable. So
Yeah.
from the tavern all the way to the Veterans Memorial on the water side where the railing is, that is considered the boulevard. So that is the prohibited area to do the busking.
Okay, so the whole boulevard area where the walkway is, in other words, pretty much
Yeah,
prohibited. So where is it that you would do it then?
well, you know, we've had people just mainly on Main Street. The two that we've, issued prior years, they set up on Main Street.
Okay,
But-
I don't know if there's any parking there. That's,
Well, you would have to pay for parking, like with the kiosk.
oh, you'd have to go into a lot there. Okay, yeah.
Well, not a lot. There's kiosks on Main Street. You can park on the street, but they are kiosks. They do-
Right. Yeah, parking on Main Street's hard, but I know what you're saying. The kiosks are there too. Well, I could think about that. I mean, that could work too, you know. Have there been other places people have played? And now I've lost your pictures, so bear with me here. I'm having really trouble on this Zoom. I don't know why it's all this trouble here, but I'm trying to get back to the actual meeting and it's not bringing me back there.
Well, we can hear you.
Okay, yeah, because I can hear you better when I'm watching you talk. It's hard when, you know, you can hear stuff in the background, but are there other areas or is it only Main Street?
No, there are other areas that we really up to you. Anywhere where prohibited, and it's mostly the boulevard. So.
I can hardly hear you now. Everything is echoing in this. I think I should come back on this, but I don't know if we probably all can't come back on. So I'm having a real problem hearing. It's all echoey in the background.
Let me see, maybe if, Chief, can you mute yourself? Keep calling. Let's see if we can get the echoing out. Is that better?
Yes, that's a little better. Yes, thank you.
Okay. So, you previously said that you busk in Manchester. Did I understand that correctly?
You were
Yes.
saying that I was saying I could. Is that what you said? It's hard to hear you now that I can't see you. But
Okay,
you were
You didn't-
saying that I meant, yeah, I was mentioning I might do that and they said that's okay to do over there because you don't really need a license. Like I could go to the park and rather than perform with the whole band, I could just play when I wanted to, she said, at the gazebo. I haven't done that much. I did that once, but yeah.
you haven't, done any busking in Massachusetts at all?
No, well, the only busking I did was in Manchester because I live in Magnolia. So I'm sort of in between Gloucester and Magnolia. So I went over to like in front of the pizza house. They said, oh, we love you for you to play in front of the pizza house. And basically it was a few places there and that was it, you know. In Magnolia, I played on the bench a few times and nobody seemed to care. And there wasn't, I guess, any kind of legality against it, but that's all I did. And that was only for one day. So I just didn't want to keep doing it because it was too hot in August when I was doing it. So, I mean, that's not really, it's okay. I don't know. Look, I'm just as fuzzy as you are about it because I really don't know the greatest idea for that, to be honest with you.
Well, to be honest, the only place you're not allowed and it's prohibited is Boulevard. Okay, and then you can, you know, private property, you need
Wait,
permission.
hold on. I don't know what's going on. All these the digital stuff today is crazy. I'm sorry, what were you saying, Joanne?
I said, it's really up to you on where you want to perform, and that the only place that is prohibited is the Boulevard. Okay, and
Okay.
if you do it on private property, you would need permission of the person who owns the property.
Oh, of course, yeah. That's why I asked them. I would never just do it without asking the people, you
Yeah.
know?
So, but it's not up to this commission to tell you where to go to busk. We
Yeah,
just,
that's fine. That's fine.
we
Okay,
just approve the license, that's all.
yeah. I'm trying to still figure out how I can get this back on the gallery screen and I can't even get it on it.
That's okay. That's
I just
okay.
wanted to see everybody and it was, you know, I hate that I can't get my thing up there. I can't, and it's just frustrating.
Okay, so Chief, do you have any questions for?
Okay, because I can't hear you too. I hear you better when I'm watching you talk. So Yeah, I guess I don't really have any questions. I guess it would be like during the day at some times, and I haven't really thought about where in Gloucester other than the Boulevard that I would go. I know that I was gonna play with my band up in Stage 4 Park. I think his name was Ben. I can't remember his last name. But that's, I'm not doing that right now. So, I mean, I really haven't given it a lot of thought about where in Gloucester, you know? Other
Okay.
than Stage 4, because Stage 4 would be to me the best place to busk.
Okay, and unfortunately, you can't use the gazebo because we never know when the gazebo is being rented out for private functions like weddings.
Oh, the
So-
gazebo down at the bottom of the park or in the top in Stage 4?
At the top at Stage 4, and you can't use the bottom. There's no gazebo on the bottom. There's just the Veterans Memorial.
Okay, I
And you
think I
wouldn't,
heard you.
you wouldn't be able to do it there.
I think I should try to link back on this meeting, but the meeting's probably almost over, isn't it? Because I mean,
Yeah, because
I
we
can
have,
hardly
I
hear
have
you.
another meeting to go to, so we really need to wrap this up.
All right.
Do you have any questions for the applicant?
Yeah, I don't really have any questions. I think probably the best bet in your situation is to, really kind of scope out town and, both, if you're considering Manchester, that's a separate issue, but I would take a look at where do you think you want to go? And then, present that back to Joanne to be able to get an approval for that. Obviously, our code of ordinance does outline what is exempted from busking, where it's not allowed, which predominantly is the boulevard. So that makes that fairly obvious. But this is a you decision, not a us recommendation, so to speak. You want to do the busking, you got to kind of have an idea of where you want to play. If I'm a big
Well, I
band,
did, my
wanna be-
idea, I did
Right.
have that idea, and I thought it would be the Boulevard, because that seemed like the only and best probability, but now if it's banned from that, then
Yeah,
guess
it's
the only
it's been
real-
like that for many years, just because
Oh.
I think the idea is, from the city from way back before Ed or my time here, and that is in the code of ordinance, is just to not obstruct pedestrian traffic, which is very heavy down there. And obviously you have homes that are sort of close.
Yeah,
And it's just kind of one of those spaces that I agree with you. It kind of makes sense that we might allow it there, but there are obviously historic reasons that precede us that dictated by basically law, under the ordinance that no, we're not having it down there for whatever reasons
Right.
those were. So
well, when the Greasy Pole, I think at some point the Greasy Pole had that fair down there and they had a band, but I think that was, where was, that was by the brewery, wasn't it? I think, in that area.
yeah, but that's not on the boulevard, so that's outside of it. And that's a separate licensing process.
Oh.
For Fiesta and a special events permit and so
Oh.
forth. So it's far different than licensing for busking type activities. So it
Yeah,
falls under a
gotcha.
different section of the code.
Right. Well, the only place I can come up with is maybe around Blue Lobster would be okay, but I really don't know the exact spot. I haven't thought about that. So I don't really know. Main Street could work, some portions, some parts of Main Street. But I really
Well,
don't know. I don't know.
I would suggest take a drive, check it out, see what looks like it might be, especially during the times that you're thinking about playing, to see what are the crowds and the amount of people and space like. Go talk to some of the business owners out there, because if you are on Main Street, there is some need to coordinate with them and say, hey, if it is private property, like the bank owns that small park right there on Main Street. They have often allowed entertainers to utilize that space that they own, and you still have to have a license. So that may be a spot that works.
Oh, okay. I don't know where that park is, that you're talking about.
Smith, can I just interrupt?
Sure.
Street performer license that we approved, he informed me that the Cape Ann Savings Bank does not allow busking on that property because of liability reasons. And the only reasons performers are there is that with their permission, if it's part of a block party.
No,
I-
gotcha. Well, then I stand corrected, and that's typically when I've seen it. So that makes total sense.
Yeah.
So Joanne, if it's part of a block party, is that different? Is that?
Yeah. I mean, you can go to any of these events, okay, without a street performer license. And the block parties, or any other special event that they would have entertainment, but you would have to go through the event organizer to get permission to play there. Okay,
Okay, I think it's the chamber. I can't remember who does that. Yeah, I get you. Okay.
well, the block parties are the chamber, yeah.
Now, maybe busking is not a good idea then. I mean, it might be better for me because I've got gigs set up anyway. Maybe the busking part isn't really gonna work out. I don't know. So,
Well, I would say mull it over and let us know.
okay. And you know, I would love another chance to come on here with my picture if anyone wants to work with me.
Unfortunately, I don't know anything about Max.
Yeah,
Okay,
me either. My wife uses one and I stay out of her way.
Oh dear. All right.
so Lisa, are you withdrawing your request right now?
Well, I guess I am because I don't know exactly where it would be a good spot. I really don't know. I mean, what I was thinking I was going to do, Joanne, is say, okay, go ahead and get the license and then go and see, because I can't tell you guys which exact spot because I don't know. If you require me to know an exact spot, I would have to go scout that out, you know?
Please. What is your opinion on this?
Yeah, I would say go scout it out and then you can let us know because unfortunately the issuance of a license requires that we know what the spot or spots are. I
Well, no,
believe that's
yeah,
how
that
we've done
makes
it in
sense.
the past and we've added that to the license. Is that correct?
Well, that
Joanne?
makes sense. And the only reason I threw the ball back to you about the recommendations, I know I'm deciding where, but it's because I don't know what the options are as far as where. So, I
Pretty
mean,
much all the town except the boulevard.
oh, okay. So that,
So if you sort it out and then let Joanne know, and then we can continue this to the next meeting and let you know when that meeting will be based on, and you may be the reason for the next meeting if we have no other business. Once you kind of sort it out and go, you know what, I'm thinking right here would work good. Let Joanne know, she can schedule another meeting and we'll get it done.
okay, that sounds good. And I'm sorry, I don't know your name because I can't see any of your faces now.
Yeah, no worries. But Eric Smith. I'm the
Eric,
fire
thank
chief
you,
here.
Eric. Thank you, Joanne. Thank you, everybody.
Welcome.
All right, and I will try to, I'll take a drive around because I have like about 10 days off my next job starting at my agency. So I've got some time here. And I think that's a good idea for me because, you know, if it required, if I could do it acoustically, and if I needed to buy a little battery for my guitar, I could do that. That wouldn't be a big deal if I really wanted to, but I'm happy to do it acoustically too. So, I mean, it's just fun to do. For me, I'm only doing it because I need to keep playing my guitar. That's basically why.
Okay, thank you,
Awesome.
Lisa.
Well, thank you so much, guys. And I'll let you know, Joanne, if I can come up with something good, okay?
Okay. Looking forward to hearing from you.
Yes, me too. Thank you again. And hopefully next time this won't happen with the picture.
Okay, all right, have a good day.
All right, you
Good luck.
too. Bye. Take care.
See ya.
All right, there being no further business, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Certainly. Motion to adjourn. So moved.
Second,
Okay, roll call vote, Chief Conley,
yes.
Chief Smith,
Yes.
and Joanne Zeno's yes. Thank you, chiefs, and have a good day.
All right. Off to the
Bye,
next
guys.
thing. See you guys. Bye.
Bye.